sure that that's muted. Looks like we're live. Looks like everything's good, so... Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is December 8th, and this is the December 8th TextQuest Devstream. So, since Tuesday, I have done a couple of things. A lot of it was actually not related to the woods level. However, I did do some attempted light map baking, and after about 45 minutes of a light map baking, I decided that it was not feasible for us to bake a light map with this many transparent objects in the scene, because each tree, if we select it, is actually a trunk and two separate objects for leaves that are sort of like an inside and an outside, and they're all being light mapped. So not the best. Not the best thing to do. Light mapping will not really like that. Which means that we are going to want to do some sort of real-time solution. But in addition to that, we also don't want to have this many things in the scene on startup because, well, that means that the scene is going to be very, very large, have a very, very long loading time, and therefore will, well, not really be feasible, especially on lower-end computers. We'll have some difficulty getting that to work properly. So we're actually going to go back to what we originally suggested, or what we originally attempted, and we didn't get very far with it, but I don't think we really failed at it as much as we just didn't finish it. We are going to dynamically populate the forest as you explore. Now, it's not procedural generation. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have all of this data set ahead of time, and as you move, we will instead move the forest chunks around you. So essentially, as it is right now, if we play the game, let's turn off stats, and I won't maximize on play, but we will show you what it looks like right now. Last time we decided that we're just going to cull everything with a camera culling frustrum. We're not going to try to actually come up with a good solution for this. And it works. If we turn on stats, we get 45-ish set pass calls on average. And that's functional, but it's not really performant. Well, actually 45 is perfectly fine. However, loading this level will probably take a while. And doing any sort of thing regarding transitioning to other chunks, which will involve loading another section of the level that's at least this big with this many trees, will cause some problems. So instead of doing that, it'll be much better in the long run to actually set up basically a 3x3 grid, or actually I guess a 4x4 grid, or actually I guess it'd be 5x5, because we need one padding on each side. So it'd be 5x5 grid that's basically, as you move along, it will despawn the areas behind you and spawn in new areas ahead of you. This isn't a new concept. This is what most level streaming does. But we're actually going to set that up for this particular level. And that means that we're going to actually scrap everything we did on Tuesday. Although, we will keep some key concepts, such as needing support for walls, in addition to, well, needing to be able to specify warping. And doing all this means that we're going to kind of get back into this. Some of you might remember months ago when I first started doing this. Let's see, that would have been, God, I want to say summertime, maybe? Maybe not that far back, maybe something like August. When I was working on this level, or woods layout window originally. So we're going to actually set this up in a way that is conducive to the new system that I'm thinking of. And currently, I haven't made any edits to it yet. I figured that tonight would be a good thing to start on that for. And if we initialize this... Oh, hello. Oh, I guess I need a... Right. Let's do like 5x5. Initialize. Oh, fine. Be that way. And we can sort of set up a grid that will tell us, where do we want it to go, where do we want it to teleport to or wrap when it's to the left, where do we want it to wrap to the right, to the top, to the bottom. And what we're going to have to do is we're sort of going to have to expand this so that it supports the type of ground that you want. So in this case, the ID, which actually wouldn't need to change much. It would be, a list of all of the individual sections that I have. Then we would need an indication for what it's going to wrap to the left, what it's going to wrap to the right, etc., etc. That stuff's not going to really change. The main thing, though, is that we're not going to spawn in sections. If you remember when we originally set this up, this was set up to be like a zero. This 0, 0 here is a section, not really so much a chunk. So what we'll do is, instead of being a 3x3 sort of grid of individual like grass or path or corner piece or whatever, it's actually going to be an individual version of those. It's not going to be, grids of them. And then we'll be able to sort of, on a per grid basis, determine what we want to do. And then in addition to that, we're not going to lay out the entirety of the woods with this layout manager. Instead, we're going to lay out each section, and then we will basically tell, well, actually, you know what? I guess I could, in theory, lay out the entire woods section. It would just be a fairly massive grid. Wouldn't be too bad, because I could actually sort of fill everything in as I see fit and just have certain sections be nothing, so they wouldn't actually be used. And that would be fine, I think. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started doing this. And to get started, that means we're going to have to delete everything, unfortunately. Although I will actually, you know what, just to keep a reference to everything, because I have laid everything out roughly how I want it to look. I will go ahead and select scene asset. I'll duplicate this scene. And I will rename this to Woods Layout. Double click on that. Okay, so now we're in the Woods Layout. Alright. So let's see. Alright. Now this is where it's going to get fun. So let's reload all this stuff. Alright. Now the actual window itself was kind of doing some crazy things. It was trying to communicate with our woods layout object, and apparently I didn't quite get that working properly, but and then it was doing something weird where it was trying to sort of grab these elements. And I think what we're going to end up doing is, instead of having it be section-based, it's going to be sort of chunk-based, which means absolutely nothing in that semantics. However, I will open up all the scripts that we have there, just so that we can take a look at them. That collection, which does nothing. Woods layout element. And this layout element is sort of the basic information for just one of these sections. So in that case, like as an example, this would be a section. So in this case, it's a straight path, and all straight paths going in the z-axis will look like this one. So it'll have two trees, one on its left, one on its right, and then it'll of course have the vertex painted straight dirt path. So from there, let's see, what else do we need to change here? Label is fine. Index is just its position in space, which is fine. The woods section ID, let's go ahead and update these things. And this is where it's going to get nuts. Let's hit select here. Oh my god, this is going to suck. I have a lot of different things that I'm going to have to put into this enum. It's basically going to be all of these possible things. So let's see here. I'm kind of going to cheat, and I'm going to say add tab, project, and I'm actually going to drag this off to the side so you guys don't have to look at it. And instead, I will look at it myself and use it to fill in things in the sprite sheet, or in the script. Mostly this is so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Although it kind of sucks that I'm going to have to... we can probably open everything. Try to fit as much as it as possible. Alright. Okay, and good. I can scroll. Alright. So let's just go ahead and quickly go through these. I think I can keep it as a byte. Don't need to do anything fancy with enums, really. So let's go ahead and start filling in this enum. We'll do path, and for now we're just going to fill it in with the entrance pieces, because we want to make sure that the entrance functions before we do anything else. So we're going to do path t right set those to be 30. I'm kind of gonna jump around a lot here. So we're gonna say path z equals 5, path x equals 6. Let's see, what else do we need? Path angle left. This is gonna mean kind of nothing for a little bit, but hopefully we'll be able to make this come together properly. And that's kind of, I guess we need the corners. So we're gonna say corner top right, and set that to be 20, and then corner, if I could spell corner, which apparently I can't, bottom left, I think, is all we need. And these should be the basic components for the entrance level. So we come back over here. So we have, let it compile, of course. And Shazam. Shazam. There we go. Okay. So if we look up, let's go ahead and bring this down so we can see it. We have a straight path, we have a T right, we have a path X, and then we have a angle path, so this one angles to the left. Oh, and then I guess we do need a straight path going from left to right. So let's go ahead and go down here. We're going to say path, I guess it would be, God, I hate doing corners. Underscore, we'll do TL underscore BR. So top left, bottom right. That'll be 7. All right. So now we should have everything that we need, because our corner piece, as we can see here, is top right. Our other corner piece is bottom left. Those are the corners that we have, correct? Corner top right, corner bottom left. Yep. All right. All right. So now we can actually start populating everything. And for that, let's see here. Actually, before we do too much, let's go over here to Woods Layout Element. And I'm going to say public bool wall top equals false. Public bool wall bottom equals false. Public bool wall left equals false. And public bool wall, oops, can't spell, right, or I guess can't type. Wall right equals false. These will obviously control where the forest tree walls are. Let's see, index, don't need anything there. Let's see, and the label, of course, this was done purely for convenience, although I might end up changing it for a nicer custom inspector. Not that it really matters, I don't need to look at it. That's probably why I just did that real quick. Let's see, do I need anything else? Left connection ID, right connection ID, up connection ID, and down connection ID. Actually, I do need to change this. Instead of being connection IDs, I think these need to be indexes, like target places for you to warp to. So we might, this is going to be kind of tough. Let me think, how do I want to handle this? I suppose what we can do, that would be my cat, she wants attention. I suppose what we can do is, instead of having these wood section IDs, because again, that's not going to be very informative, these wood section IDs, they're all going to be shared for the most part. Which kind of actually means that this is worthless for the most part. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of these. I don't even need these. And we're going to change this to... God, my cat keeps getting up on my computer. So we're going to change this to actually be... actually, before I do that, let me sort of peek these. So I'm going to say public vector to left connection vector 2.0. We're going to sort of copy paste this a couple of times. Call this down, not daub. Top connection, and then right connection down here. 3.0, I can get rid of these guys, they are not relevant. And then of course I can add some more bools real quick, so public bool connect right. Actually we'll say connect top equals false. These will be the bools that determine whether or not it warps. So these are going to be false. Let's see, bottom, left, and right. All right. And I think that's all I really need in terms of information. Let's see. The next thing that I need to do is going to be, let's see here. I think we're actually going to need to add a script. I can close my second project view now. I don't need it. And let's see. Oh goody. There is an error. Oh, I suppose that's to be expected because there's stuff referencing those. But we don't care that they're busted because we don't need them yet. Let's come back over here. Start doing this before I forget. Let's call it create type script. This will be a woods section info. I don't think I'm using that yet. I have quite a bit of old code in this area that I kind of need to clean up. Like the nod woods manager and probably wood section, wood path, woods chunk ID, got a lot of stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and open this up, reload all. I hate it when it does this. Alright. Change this to text quest. And then we're going to come down here, and this is going to be a serialized class, so system.serializable. And this is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be public section ID ID.none. And then we'll actually want to give it a warp area, which is going to be a woods chunk, I think. God, I really need to. It's going to be wood section. It's going to be wood section. Okay, so public woods section, and then section. I need better names for these. Chunks, plains, patches of land. They're not very specific, really. Alright. And we're actually going to have a lot of fun with these editor. We're going to have a lot of editor scripts that we're going to do tonight, I think. Let's see here. Let me think. All right. Let's go ahead and fix these errors real quick. If these are in the woods layout info, just going to comment these out. I don't actually care for now. I will want those fields at some point. They're not going to be those exact fields, but I will want them. Okay, fine. Jeez, like everything has to go. Okay. That's probably going to get rid of all of this information. Compile. Shazam. Alright. So yeah, you can see that we don't have any information being shown down here. below our line, which before was displaying some information based on each sort of section that was supposed to be populated. That's perfectly fine. We don't care. All right. And let's see here. So I'm going to, like we started out saying, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of everything. And then we're going to start back in with some very, very simple things. So we're going to start at 0, 0, 0. So let's go ahead and we're going to pull in a straight path. So let's go ahead and say, don't care about ends, don't care about joints for now. We want a straight path Z. All right. So this is a basic path. That's fine. And you know what I should have done is not deleted everything and instead kept one of everything. So let's go ahead and select, let's say U, 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 and U. Move you guys out. And we're just going to select literally everything else, which, oh god, it's not going to like that. It's really not going to like that. Ooh, it stuttered pretty badly for that. Seriously? Come on. Why are you highlighting those things? They should not be Ugh. Fine. It pulled them out. Of course it did. Okay. Just get rid of these guys. This is gonna suck, because I gotta pull everything else. Hopefully I'll get lucky, and let's see if I'm lucky. Oh, good. Okay. So it looks like at least it pulled them out in order. Okay. Not too bad then. Da-da. Put the trees back in. Trees back in. Da-da-da. This, wait, did it? Okay, no. Pull this in. Da-da. Grab you. Alright. So now I think we have one of each section type that we get used, and we still have the, I just realized that I totally forgot to do trees for, no, it's fine, I can pull them out of there. Alright. So these are all the individual types that we're going to use. Let's go ahead and let's move this one, position it at 0, 0, 0, F. Alright, let's move our spawn over to 0, 0, 0. Actually, I guess we'll place it a little bit ahead of it just so that we don't fall off the edge and, well, not necessarily die, but, you know, fall forever. Alright, so now we can actually start setting up our woods section. So we're going to say woods section. It will have a box collider on it. That is fine. Obviously, you need to make sure that it's a trigger. We're going to calculate bounds. Where are you? There we are. Update bounds. Are you? Ah, dang it. The trees are slightly off. Of course they are. I was worried about that. Although I think I can... No. I thought I did that. Let's go to debug real quick. Let me see. Nope, I guess I don't have a... I thought I had a thing for ignoring transforms. Oh well, fine. I'll just have to do something like this. Let's change our snapping down to 0.5 for ProGrids. Hit done. Looks like I'm gonna have to go in by 1 anyway. I guess that's fine. Not the end of the world, it's just annoying. Alright, let's try that again. And I can probably get rid of these for now. Don't need to worry about them. Alright, so we're going to have... not the box collider. Update bounds. Alright. Huh. Don't know why it's so tall. Maybe give it an arbitrary height. So now if we were to walk through this, don't need to mirror. We would wrap all, don't need to reflect. And let's go ahead and start changing this script. Guys, we no longer need chunk information like this. We no longer need... well, you know what? Actually, that's... okay, that's convenient. We'll keep the wood section ID there. We don't care about the top left sections and blah, 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 all that stuff. Let's see. Top left rotation. That's nothing I need. Yep, don't need any of the rotations because nothing can be rotated or it will be immediately obvious that it's not wrapping. Let's see. Wood wrap type. Is this doing anything? Self-target. Okay. I suppose that's fair. Is it though? I don't know if it is. So it's going to be declared by, and yeah, it's fine for now, I guess. So we're doing X-Men wrap target. Yeah, it's fine. We don't care about this in the sense that we don't care about their section ID. Instead, I believe we're actually going to want to have a physical reference to these. So we're going to call these wood section. And of course, we'll just not declare what they are. Let's go back over here and boom. All right. Do I need a reference to the woods manager? No, I don't. These things are going to be dumb. They're only going to know exactly what they were told about. Don't need you. Let's see. Don't need the wood chunks IDs. Don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about surrounding sections. Man, I'm cutting out a bunch of things. Don't need to worry about these. The delay coroutine is, of course, to prevent it from freaking out whenever you teleport. It's perfectly fine. Let's see. Okay, so this is going to be wrap. So X-min wrap target. Oh. Ah. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. Okay, well, that's kind of nice. I ended up just cutting out a bunch of lines from that section, from that code, which probably means that my editor is going to break as soon as it, loads. So I probably should fix the editor for this too. So woods section. I can't spell section apparently. I can't type apparently. Editor. Editor. Editro. All right. Let's see. Going back here. Don't care about any of the chunks. Don't care about any of the sections. Don't care about any of the rotations. And all of that stuff is fine. So I can get rid of almost 90% of this. Draw script field, that's fine. Let's see here. Section info. Okay. So I'm kind of cheating and peeking at this before we do anything. So we don't need the chunks, we don't need the surrounding sections or the rotations. Okay. Which basically means that I can go all the way down here before we hit anything even relevant. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, I'll keep that in there for now. I'm curious as to why I commented those. Everything else seems to be fine. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not doing anything particular down here, am I? No. Find all references are you being used? No, but I'll keep you in just in case. Draw wrapping. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Interesting. I have an error, apparently. Right. Because I was originally having my woods manager handle this stuff, which I'm not convinced I'll do anymore. Let's go ahead and do this. Because the woods manager is going to be fairly independent of these things. Like I don't even know if it'll have references to it. I think the woods manager is instead going to do what most level managers do, which is largely keep track of item placement and very, very specific logic. So I think I'm going to have a separate script for this level streaming and such. Let's go back here. Yeah, I mean, okay, this isn't that bad at all. This is going to be path Z, wrapping behavior. We don't care about any of this, which is fine. And yeah, I think that's pretty good for this. Let's go ahead and hit save. And that becomes the de facto sort of how things are going to look. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do is come over here to our woods. Again, we're not going to do a woods layout. Instead, yeah, that's fine. Okay. And actually, that means let me go down here to find the script again. I actually don't need this wood section info because the section itself does have a reference to its own ID. So don't need this. It's going to be an overly complicated thing that doesn't really need to happen. Let that recompile real quick. And while it's doing that, I'll take a drink. Oh, I need to go through my freaking project and strip out a bunch of stuff I'm not using anymore. I'm tired of having all these warnings. It's all assets. I mean, I think there's a couple of things that are mine, but for the most part, it's assets that just need to be updated. Okay, let's come back here. Yeah, reload all. Alright. Let's get rid of wood manager. We don't care about that. Woods section editor is fine, I think. Alright. So, let's go to wood section ID, wood layout element. Actually, I guess, so instead of this connect top, it's going to be woods wrap type. I'm going to call this wrap top equals woods wrap type dot. We'll say none for now. Not wrapped left, wrap left. All right. So I think this will keep things a little cleaner. All right. So let's see. Let's come back here to. Do we care about you? I mean, not particularly. I'm pretty sure this is just done like this for convenience. Oh, right. It's so that it's a little bit easier for us to actually organize everything. So let's go ahead and go to Woods Layout Manager, or Woods Layout Window. So now we're going to want to display information below again. In particular, we're going to want to display information regarding the ID ID of what is being, of what's going to get spawned in. Let's go ahead and come down here. Draw section IDs. I don't think we're. Yeah, so we're at the very bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and show this. Element. We don't care about the ID, I suppose. No, that's not right. So actually, no, this does need an ID then. The ID is just going to tell you very quickly what it actually is, like what section should spawn in. So, public woods section ID, wood section ID dot none. Okay, that's not too bad. We can keep that nice and simple. Connection ID. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little messy. So let me think. How do I want to do this? Oh man, I can think of a couple of ways this will get super terrible. Well, I suppose we'll keep it nice and easy for now. So let's say left connection. Or, you know what? Just comment this out for now. Right, and these are the preview editor things I was going to try. We might try that next, actually. So we're going to say element dot. Oh, what is it? Left connection is equal to. Is left connection the actual object? No, that's the vert. Right. That's the index. Okay. Is equal to editor GUI layout dot vector 2 field. We'll say new GUI content. Vector 2 value is element dot left connection. Don't really care about anything else. This is going to be left. And we're going to say public. Not public. What am I stupid? If custom editor utility dot draw header. We'll give it an int ID of what I have to assume is probably going to be not going to be 1. Well, maybe it is. Actually, it might be 1. Okay, I guess it's going to be 1. 1. Let's give it new GUI content. Let's see. Comma. Do I need any new buttons? Nope. Okay. Did I miss one? I missed one. Hate it when I do that. Alright, and this is going to be connections. Or, let's call it wrapping. Alright. I copy this, paste it 4 times. And actually, I think we're going to do editor GUI layout dot begin horizontal. We don't want to do that, do we? Nope. We actually want to do this. Editor GUI layout dot get control rect r equals get control rect. And we're going to say rect type rect equals new rect r rect connect rect. I will call it wrap rect. It's easier. Wrap rect equals new, no, not vector 2, rect, or, okay. And of course below all of this, I'm going to go ahead and say private void draw. It's not going to be fun, is it? No, it's not. Well, we'll hold off on that for now, I suppose. So let's just say da da da. I'm gonna have duplicate code, but dang if it's not gonna look nice when it's done. So we're gonna comment those out for now. We're even gonna comment you out actually, and we're gonna say typerect dot width is equal to let's say 150. Actually, you know what? I want to see if this even looks right. So we're going to kind of cheat here. Say editor GUI layout.begin horizontal. So we're going to set up a horizontal area for a connection type, whether it should be the self, no wrapping at all, or target a specific thing. We're going to say editor GUI layout.end horizontal. And let's say element dot wrap left equals, it's going to be this enum pop-up basically. It's going to be woods wrap type. Did I hit enter by mistake or something? Let's see. I suppose this would be wrap. No, actually, this would be left. Element.id, this would be element.wrap left. And this would be GUI content.none. Okay, let's see what that looks like. If I'm correct, we should see a single line down here that says left, gives us 2 enum drop downs, one with the left label and one with no left label. Shazam. Alright, and the ID, of course. So this first one, I guess, would be path Z. Wrapping would be no wrapping to start with. And then we have our identifiers. Okay. So I guess it's not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Let me think. Oh yeah, and the reason I'm doing it this way, God, I hate doing it this way. I would like to try and use serialized properties whenever I can, but because I have this nasty like array here, I don't know how easy that would be. In fact, that's pretty much impossible, I would say. So I really would rather not have duplicate code like this. I think I can. I'm 90% sure I can get this as long as I pass the right information. So we're gonna say public or not public, private void draw wrap info, and we're gonna say we're gonna say vector 2 index. So I guess we'll say what the heck? Freaking ignore all, ignore all, ignore all, ignore all. That was Unity pinging itself to keep itself awake. I hate it when it does that because it causes a recompilation of everything. So let's get rid of you, and we're going to change this to index dot y dot toInt. Next one is going to be index dot x dot toInt. All right. Which, of course, means that we're going to want to say, okay, I got that down there. Good, good, good. So we're going to say draw wrap info. Kind of going to cheat here, I suppose. And we're going to say float. No, we'll do int. Well, no, we'll do float. Doesn't matter. No reason to cast it to an int when we're going to have to convert it back to a float anyway. So we're going to say float x index equals 0 for now. Float y index is equal to 0 for now. And we're actually going to change these to this question mark, and we will do 1f else that, I guess. And we'll do something similar for y. Except it's going to be the other way. I don't know why these went away now. I haven't. Weird. Okay, and the reason that we want to do that is because we can just simply say if x index, if y index, and then we can change these guys to y index x index, and then here we can simply pass it new vector 2. Actually, you know what? Does it really make sense for me to do vector 2s when I can just pass floats? I don't think it does. Well, then yeah, we're totally converting these to ints. Int. Change this, change this, change this, change this. Actually, no, I can keep these as f's. And then dot toInt, dot toInt. All right, so now we can just change that. Instead of having to convert it to an integer each time, we can now just simply pass it. That's really nice. And let's see here. Then I think we're going to want to pass x, y index. All right, we're going to change this to int x index int y index. All right. Once we have this back, we'll be able to go back and look at the editor and make sure that everything's going on properly. So we're going to change this to y index, change this to x index, x index, and oh, I probably should pass a message, I suppose. So we'll call this string label, or you know what, even yeah, string label's fine. I'm a perfectionist, so GUI content label, and this will itself say label, and then we can change this to say new GUI content left. All that work, and if we did everything right, it will look exactly the same as it did before. So let's see. If any of this changes, then we might have done something wrong. And compiled. And yep, didn't change, so that's actually what we wanted. You gotta love editor scripting. So much work for nothing. Let's see. All right, so let's get the other the other 3 sections working real quick. So this is as simple as cut and pasting. I'm gonna call this. Let's let's see. We would be top, bottom, crap, that one was left, and then right. Not riot, right. Alright, let's do that. Let's come back down here. Oh, right, this is going to get... Crap. That completely ruins anything that I... Well, then I just feel foolish, because this is always going to show the left connection. Dang it. I don't know why that didn't strike me when I was actually writing it. Probably because then I wouldn't have, had to go through all the work and therefore make myself look like an idiot. But, what are you going to do? Let's see. So how am I going to get around that? How am I actually going to show everything? Because I can't just pass a reference, remember. I do need to actually pass the specific connection type that I'm looking for. See, if this was a... If this is a serialized property thing, it wouldn't be too bad. I could just pass the property I'm looking for, but I'm not doing that, unfortunately. So it's kind of going to make it a little bit hard to do. Oh, look at that. Services crapped out. Alright. Let me see. Left connection, right connection. I mean, short-term easy thing would just be to literally tell it what I want, but I don't want to do that. That's sloppy. I hate being sloppy. How could we do this? I wonder if... No, that wouldn't work. I was going to say, try to get some sort of serialized property out of it, but not quite. Yeah, all that did was... that makes me so sad. Well, while I'm here, I might as well say... editor GUI layout dot begin vertical editor style, editor styles dot text area, editor GUI layout dot end vertical. That way at least I can get wrapping down here so everything looks nicer. God, well maybe I just need to try really, really hard to properly get this element then. You know what? I think I can do that. So let's do this. Oh boy, this is gonna suck. We're gonna do serialized property. Geez, really? Instead of getting the elements, I think we're actually going to get a serialized property of this. So, oh boy. This is going to be elements equals... oh, you know what? I guess I can't really do that. Because I need to actually, you know what? Come to think of it, how am I going to do that? Because the way I was doing it before, I was actually getting the information directly from the... Actually, no, that's actually... That's something I can actually do. I think what I want to do is say cached manager. No, dang it, it's because it's actually a thing. Let me see if I can turn the cache manager into a serialized property, like a serialized object for some reason, which should actually allow me to do what I want to do. No, it doesn't look like it. Dang it. I wonder if there's some way for me to do that. No, probably not. Well, crap, and that just means that I kind of am out of luck there, and I have to just do it. Ugh. I can't have nice things, I suppose. Fine. Well, it's disappointing, because then it just means that I have to have this code duplicated 4 times. Boo. So GUI content left. And let's go ahead and do it. Get the pain over with. Alright. So top, bottom, left, and right. Alright. So left connection, bottom connection. Hold on. Down connection now. I should have consistency. This is actually going to be wrap top. Top connection. Let's see. Wrap left. Don't need to do anything there. Wrap right. Right connection. Alright. Go ahead and pop these things over. I hate doing it this way. It's such a nasty way of handling things. Alright, let's let that go. And Shazam. You can do it. It's stuck, isn't it? Ta-da! I don't know why it does that. Occasionally it just gets stuck in recompiling, and all you have to do to break it out of it is right-click. Alright. Nice. So as you can see, we have... so if we change these to self... Of course it's not! Yep. So we do... of course... See, draw active section. Where are you being done? Find all references right here. At the very bottom, it's on GUI. So it's not actually applying changes, unfortunately, which is really, really frustrating. And let's go ahead. It does for the ID, but not for the wrapping, which is super weird. Why would the wrapping not be done properly? Oops. Let's see. I'm not doing anything particularly crazy here. Editor scene manager, get active scene. Marking the scene as dirty must force it to... Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Why would it go back? That's annoying. Can I change this? Ooh. Oh wait, no, that's fine. That's that's really weird. That's really weird. So enums don't want to play nice, but vector 2s and this enum will be fine. Something has to be editing that, or I have to just be an idiot. Could be the latter one. I'm not gonna lie. Enum pop up. Let's see. Let me see. Maybe I have to do something specific with enum. But no, that wouldn't make sense because the element ID is just fine. Wrap. Oh. Bah. This is why. Because again, I'm an idiot. Like the top one, I forgot to change that over. So if I try that again, wait for it. Self, yep. Target, yep. Okay. And of course, if we swap between these, yep. Okay, there we go. It's doing it. How nice. Just out of curiosity. Boom. Yes, gets marked as dirty. Okay. So that's working now, which is nice. Let's see, what else do I want to do here? I don't care too much for this. Oh, yes. Oh, God, this is another reason I didn't want to duplicate code, but I guess I have to. Is I need to do this. If element dot wrap top equals dot target is not equal wrap target GUI dot enabled equals false. Equals true. And we just kind of got to do this for both of these. Well, not both, all of these cases. True. And the reason for that is that I don't want to edit this if it's not actually going to do anything. And of course, this is, even though it's just me working on this, I do like to try and have semi-reasonable code. So even if I come back to this without looking at it for, like 6 months, if for some reason I decide to change the layout again, I wouldn't put it past 6 months from me now. Or 6 months from now, me. That guy's an idiot. Alright, so now we can't change these fields. We don't have to worry about it. If it's self, not going to do it, because again, if it's none or self, we don't want to wrap to a specific target ID, because it's going to be this one. Or it's not going to be anything at all. And then if it's target, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. So wrap bottom, wrap left, and wrap right. Save. Okay, so top one should remain interactive, and the bottom three should be disabled now. Shazam! Okay, so this is off to a good start. Let's see. How do we want to handle this? Hit save. So that's the wrapping. Let's go ahead and hit none here. Do I need any other information? Oh, the walls. I need to know if there are walls. Now, originally I was actually thinking of having like a nice little diagram down here, and we could, have like a 2D texture that gets displayed, but that is so far beyond what is necessary that I should probably not do that. Because I'm a 5-year-old who loves to experiment with that sort of thing, I could totally see myself doing that on a weekend. But for now, it's not that important. So let's go ahead and get walls as an option, I suppose. And we can get rid of these guys. See, and again, it really just sucks because look, like every single section in here is this exact same chunk of code. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code that I have to replicate 3 extra times. It just sucks because that's way too many wasted lines. I hate duplicating code even once, and the fact that I have to duplicate it 3 times is just frustrating. Well, in any case, go ahead and come down here. Alright, so now we're going to go from draw header 1, draw header 2, GUI content, instead of wrapping, we're going to say walls. And we're just going to do something very similar where we're going to say text first area here. Oops. And vertical here. Fortunately, this one isn't going to be too bad. We'll add some space here just to help keep the padding, make it not nearly as nuts to look at. All right, and then we're going to say editor. No, not editor. It's going to have to say element dot wall top is equal to editor GUI layout dot property. It's not going to be a property field. It's going to be toggle. And let's see, new GUI content. Then we will pass it a bool, which is element dot wall top. Nice and simple. I'm going to say top. And then again, we're just going to duplicate this 3 times. Wall bottom, wall left, wall right. Copy these things over. Bottom, left, right. All right. So these will just be used to, determine if a wall should be part of this chunk when it spawns in, and where that wall should go in relation to it. Which, oh dear, this is going to be... I might have to re-export a couple of my things. We'll see how that goes. And with that, I might actually have... I might have enough things set up to start filling out information for streaming. So let's see here. I'm gonna start small. We'll do 5x5, and let's start with something basic. So we're gonna do path T right in the center. It's not gonna wrap at all. There are gonna be no walls. Nice and easy. Oh god, I kind of wish I had some way of knowing what was already filled in and what wasn't. Well, god, that sucks. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll just have to try to memorize everything. Surely, because I can do that. No, not top left. This is going to be angle left. This is going to be path TL bottom right. This is going to be our corner top right. This is going to be corner bottom left. This is going to be corner top right. None. I'm not going to worry about wrapping yet. I'll come back to that. For now, I'm just going to get all of the basics here. This is going to be empty. This is going to be empty. Empty, I believe. Empty. Corner. This one is empty. 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 T. This one is path X. Path X. Empty. Empty. Path Z. Empty. Empty. D. Empty. Path Z. Okay, so these bottom rows are going to have walls on their bottom. Well, except for, I guess, the path Z one. We'll leave it as empty for now. Bottom there. And I'm not going to worry about wrapping for now. I think I'm just going to I'm more interested in getting the spawning to work. So let's see what we can do with this. So I think that's all of the basic information that I want. Now all I need to do is actually make prefabs so that the woods layout can actually use its sections. So to start off, let's go ahead and grab these guys. We're going to zero them all out. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of the duplicate markers on them. Okay. And then we're going to do this. None, 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 and none for the wrapping behavior. Save this out. I'm going to copy this component, and then I'm going to set the ID, path Z, and let's just do prefabs over here so it's nice and easy to remember. Prefabs. We'll do sections, actually. All right, so path Z, this one is done. So I can go ahead and grab this, put it in sections, and then we can get rid of it. Path X, let's go ahead and paste this component as new. Let's calculate its bounds real quick. Hopefully it's not nuts in terms of course it is. Okay, hold on. I'm going to move all these guys out, so we're going to move them over one at a time. Got to select this tree and move it in just ever so slightly. 0.5, done. Let's go ahead and drag this in. There we go. And then now I can update these bounds again, so dang it, that was the wrong one. Although I do need to make that a trigger, so that's fine. Let's update bounds. Okay, it's within the bounds of the thing. Okay, let's go ahead and drag this down here to sections. Close you off. Paste component as new. Let's drag it back over here to 0. I got anything going over the edges? Doesn't look like it. Make you a trigger. Let's go ahead and update these bounds. Let's put these back over here. Now, one of these things, if I'm correct, is, yep, just like that. It's not going to make things difficult at all now, is it? I'm going to just do... Jesus, really? Did it have to do that? Of course it did. Of course the pivot's like that. Well, that kind of puts a damper on things. I suppose for now it would be fine to do something like this. I don't want to do this, but I will for expediency's sake. Okay. And let's just go ahead and paste component as new. Make this a trigger. We got to move our trees a little bit. Specifically, we need to move this one. It's a little bit too close. It's over the edge. Move it in. I might need to move it in a little bit more, which means I'm going to move this guy just... of course, I can't really do anything with him, or else he will go out of bounds, won't he? Yep. How about you? Well, nope, he's in. Okay, that's fine. That's good enough for me. So let's go ahead and... Oh, I need to assign these wood sections. This is path, top left, bottom right. Let's update our bounds. Boom. Looks fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and just pull you in down here. Let's go ahead. I forgot to mark these sections. So this one is path X. Path. Corner. Bottom left, I guess. All right. Are you the prefab? Yep. Delete you. Drag you back over here to 0. Yes, I know. Base components is new. Trigger. Do we got anything? Oh, yeah, we definitely got it. Jeez. Let's go ahead, go up, go to orthographic view. Tree. Up slightly and over. I got a little bit of overlap, which sucks, but again, this is all just testing, I suppose, anyway, so let's just go ahead and move you up a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then let's just switch these to path T right. Update bounds. Alright. Almost done, and then we'll hopefully be able to just play and have it. Well, we're going to have to go through the logic for that, I guess, won't we? You never know. Maybe I was somehow magical in the past and managed to code everything before I actually needed to get there. But probably not. I'm not that smart. And or, future me is, or past me was kind of a dick. No one likes him. Alright, we're going to paste component as new. This one's ID is going to be path, or corner top right. Let's go ahead and update bounds. Set it to be a trigger. And then we can just drag it in. Don't need to do anything special for it. Looks like it was fine. Nice and easy. Good. Okay, so I only had the one that had a weird pivot for some reason. Probably a mesh thing that I can fix. Let's see. What else do I want to do here? So we're going to paste component as new. Make it a trigger. Let's make our ID path angle left. Ugh. Go over here. Sucks that I have to like make everything so close inside, but what are you gonna do? Update bounds. Everything look right. Yep. All right. So that's the last one. Very, very convenient. So let's go ahead and go back over here. Delete. Let's go to our woods, and then we're going to want to have our actual sections. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, right. Before I do that, I kind of need to have the empty one too, don't I? Brown grass. There we go. And all I gotta do is just move these trees. Let's do a paste component as new. Make it a trigger. Empty. And update bounds. Oop, crap. There we go. Alright. That was convenient. Let's come back here. So I need 7. Let's do ground grass. Oh, wrong thing. 7. Down here. Go ahead and minimize you so I don't do that again. We're going to do ground grass. Ground path angle. Pull in all these things. X, Z, oh I guess I needed 8. Then path T right. Alright. So those are our sections, and the next thing we want to do is we need to have it actually start spawning those things in as soon as the level starts. Let's go ahead and open up our script, and we're going to cheat. Probably what I'm going to end up doing is having the level manager tell this to start, but I'm going to just stick this in a start function for now. And we're just going to say start. All right. Oh man, I gotta figure out how we're gonna track where the player is, I guess. I could have the player fire events whenever it leaves an area. Maybe. We'll see. So, we're gonna cheat to start off. We're just gonna have it flood fill, so it's not actually gonna like try to intelligently spawn from the player and head out. We're just going to get it actually filling everything in. So we're going to say for int I equals 0, I is less than, I guess we're kind of going to end up just doing this, won't we? I is less than size dot x, I plus plus. That's interesting, it'll automatically convert it. And then we'll say for int j equals 0, j is less than size dot y, j plus plus, oops, can't type, there we go. And basically what we want it to do is actually spawn all of these elements. So let's see, am I using sleepyowl.com? And I am, that's good. So we're going to say, we're going to say pool manager dot, God, this is going to suck so hard. Because kind of going to cheat, I guess. And actually, you know what we're going to do is we're going to go from left to right, but from bottom up, which means that we're actually going to start with j is equal to size dot y minus 1. Okay, fine. Be that way. And while j is greater than or equal to 0. And then j minus minus. That way we just, start at the bottom and work our way up. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to say pool manager dot request, and it's going to be a woods section. I guess we're going to say, I guess first we'll retrieve the element, won't we? So we're going to say woods section info? No. Peek this. Woods layout element. Woods layout element. Element equals, what even was it? Elements of x, or no, of I dot elements of j, I believe is what we want. I'm willing to bet that this is also just going to be shuffled to hell. I might end up getting a square and the correct amount of things, but I would not doubt it if it was just like not positioned correctly. So let's see. This might be interesting and kind of funny to look at. So that's our element. And then with that, we're going to want to say pool manager dot, actually not, screw it. Woods section equals pool manager dot request and woods section. Let's see. Elements. Oh, geez, see, this is gonna. I think I need sections dot first or default. Ugh. So we're gonna say using system dot link. Sections dot first or default. ws dot id is equal to element dot id. Okay. And then we can give it a vector 3 for a position. So we're going to say new vector 3. Oh dear, 0f, 0f, 0f. I'm going to cheat there. And find quaternion dot identity. We don't need it to be rotated. And actually, I suppose that we can simply do this. Vector 3 position equals vector 3 dot 0 position dot x equals 10f times I. Position dot z is equal to 10f times j. We're kind of assuming that everything's going to be 10 units, but I know that ahead of time, so I guess that's okay. Um, let's see, so we're getting this, and that means that we can change this from new vector to just position. All right. And, oh dear. You know what? That's good enough for testing purposes. Anything else, like the wrapping behavior, obviously we haven't really implemented that yet, so it doesn't make sense to do it. But I'm going to be curious. I'm tentatively hoping that it will work. So let's go ahead and say play, and then just watch Unity crash. That's what's going to happen. Ha 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 ha! I mean, I was kind of right that it would be jumbled to hell, but that's actually, I think it's all the pieces. It's just like weirdly angled. That's funny. Yeah. So let's see. We need, if this is correct, we should have one of these. So a straight angle, an angle in the middle, a corner at the top right, a corner at the bottom left somewhere. Let's see. Where would that be? Is it like off in a corner somewhere? Oh, here. No, wait. That's the same one. Oh, no, it's right here. Yeah. So that's in the right spot, which is kind of funny. Right? Yep. That's the corner. Got a straight angle, a T, two X's, and two Z's. All right. So it's technically correct. It's just not in the correct positions, which I was expecting. And I think all I need to do is actually flip this and potentially make this Z and this X. So let's see if this works. If this works, I'm actually going to be really, really happy. And then we'll be able to end tonight on a high note. Because the next couple of things that I need to do are kind of, not really boring, but figuring things out. And I would probably take forever to do so. So don't want to keep people waiting as I and ah. Okay, not quite. Things are sort of correct. That's really weird. That makes me think that I was right. I just need to flip X and Z. So make this a Z. And make this X. X. Okay. I'm hopeful. Let's see. Shazam. Damn it. It's like back to what it was. So let me try changing this back. So I and J. This is why I hate 2D arrays. Because digging for them can be annoying if you're not absolutely correct. And I very, very rarely ever work with them, so. Come on. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Damn it! Why are you wrong? Because like this, so this T is in the correct spot, which makes sense because it's right in the middle. But these guys are wrong, which makes me think that I'm iterating the wrong way. Maybe I should start at the top and work my way down. Maybe. So let me change this to 0 less than size dot y and j plus plus. Actually, no, that would make sense because this would freak out. No, that wouldn't. Well, let's see. I also think that I need to actually go y first, then j. Otherwise, things get weird. So this is probably going to... Yeah, it's not going to change anything. So I was right. I need to iterate through here and flip this. So I actually want to say position z equals 10 times I So I want to do this. Size.x minus I. And we'll convert this to a float for I suppose. Okay, let's see. If I'm really hoping, I mean, I'm really, really close. It's just a 2D array logic issue, which I hate these things. Oh no! It was too much. Why is it forward? What the hell? It's up by 10 for some reason. Oh, I know why. Size.x minus 1f. That makes sense. Everything moved forward one because I was stupid. I guess I could have also just said I plus 1. Eh. Okay, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And yes! So it is correct. Oh, except walls need to spawn in, I suppose. But, you know what, fine. I can get that stuff in there later. Shadows are casting. Sure, they're a little low res, but that's fine, I suppose. Let's see. My set pass calls are 34. Everything's fine there. We're not doing anything too crazy. Yeah, so that means that we're dynamically generating the area again. with a even more simple algorithm than what we were doing before. We don't have to try and like match things. We don't have to have a shit ton of custom IDs for anything, and instead we just have one custom ID per like little chunk, and we use vector 2s to find everything else. So, all right. Well, that kind of makes me happy. God, one of the downsides of working in the forest is like everything looks the same. So if I take a screenshot here, it looks almost no different from when I took a screenshot before. But yeah, that makes me happy, and I'm ecstatic that we actually got that to work. So that's probably a good place to end for tonight. I would like to leave on a high note instead of getting stuck on something and then having to admit defeat and signing off. So that'll do it for me tonight. I'm hoping to have a stream this Saturday. It'll probably be more of this, particularly trying to get stuff like the walls working and whatever I can't get working tonight. I suppose I assume I'll be able to get the walls working tonight, but who knows? So yeah, as always, I want to thank everyone very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.